Jumbo, fellow adventurers, and welcome to another spiritual tune-up. Happy Wednesday. In the spirit of what we've been talking about the last couple of days, and for the fact that I am drawing from some of my favorite lessons in my upcoming release, the paperback version of A Beginner's Guide to the Universe, I thought I would stick to relationships as a talking point. And a really wild observation I had many years ago as I was writing a note from the universe. That observation can be summed up like this, and it's on page 158 of the not even released book yet. Page 158. Those in great relationships aren't always those who are good at relationships. And those in challenging relationships aren't always those who are bad at relationships. Yeah? Does that hit a vibe deep down? I know from my own experience, there have been times when I have been a virtual saint, decades ago, and nothing I could do would make that relationship work. And then I would look at other folks, sometimes the person I was in a relationship with, but you know what I'm talking about. You can see this everywhere, where there's people who are ignorant to their partner's needs, who are like a bull in a china shop, who plunder their way through every single day and every single conversation, and yet those relationships sometimes seem to thrive. And it gave me some consolation to say that, maybe it's not just that I'm bad in relationships. Just because you don't have a great relationship yet, or the relationships you're in so far have not been that fulfilling, doesn't mean it's you. Okay, now I know everything is you and more you, but see where this is going, and then I'm going to give you some points to maximize chances of having a great relationship. So to finish that train of thought, and again, we can look at the people, and perhaps we have been those people who did not honor to the degree they were worthy those who were in our lives, and yet everything kind of got held together and it worked. So that led to the realization, that led to the note from the universe, that sometimes, those in great relationships, some of the people in those relationships may not be good at relationships, yet they have a good relationship. Some bad relationships, it's not because a person in there is bad at it. What's the difference? The difference is the other person and or other agendas that we have. It's not just about skipping through the tulips. Relationships are one of the best places to learn about yourself. And if you have dreams of living a rocking life, and yet there are hurdles before you through misunderstanding life, dreams, people, yourself, one of the best places to learn and move through those hurdles is through a relationship. And because you're dealing with these other things, and it's not just about having a great relationship, period, it's about having a great life, sometimes we learn the most in a challenging relationship. And we will allow ourselves to be drawn into a challenging relationship, which is not evidence that we aren't good at relationships. It might be the dynamics between the two people involved that make it very challenging, and not that you aren't good at it. And the reverse as well. The reverse is true as well. Great relationship, but it's not because both players are really good at this. The dynamics brought them together, and lessons are being learned. So don't beat yourself up if you're going through lessons or challenging times in a present relationship, or you've done that through cycles in the past. There's a lot of other factors at play. So still, I thought I would share a couple of the most obvious things that will maximize, nothing will ensure because there's always another player, that will maximize chances of having a harmonious, joy-filled relationship with another person. 3 things I want to share with you today. Even if you nail these, it might not make for a great relationship, as I just laid out. But now the pressure is off. You can just show up with a glad heart and do your best and expect miracles. Number 1, you've heard these before. Be happy first. Be happy even before the relationship shows up, and you're going to be a magnet to other people who see that you've got your game together, and they're going to want some of that. So be happy first, and this does not stop when you get in a relationship. Okay? Do not be trying to make, or do not be looking to the other person to make you happy. Be happy independent of the relationship while you are in the relationship, just as you are happy prior to the relationship appearing in your life. So just because you have a relationship doesn't mean the two of you are joined at the hips and that now it's their job to make you happy. Continue to rely on yourself, your own growth, and as I shared just the other day, and I'm always sharing, continue to work on improving every single area of your life. Health, wealth, creative fulfillment, so that you are this well-rounded package and you're not putting all of your hopes and expectations on the behavior of someone else. Number 2, do not hinge your happiness on their decisions or behavior. This is very similar, but it's not quite the same. Do not hinge your happiness on their behavior. Do not identify yourself based on what they're doing. Too often, this will lead to disappointment and you wanting to change them. It's like, look, they were pretty hot before you got into the relationship. That's why you got into the relationship. There was a lot of great redeeming qualities about them. Perhaps chief among them, they weren't the same as you. So now that you're in a relationship, don't try to make them the same as you. Let them be them. Do not try to change them. And as they learn their lessons and live their lives, don't think that that reflects badly on you. It does not. Now, of course, we all want people to be happy in a relationship that when we're in a relationship, we want the people we're in a relationship to be happy. We want them to make good choices for themselves that reflect well on ourself. But this is the nature of a relationship. They're not you. They're never going to be you. They're going to make their own mistakes. They're going to learn their own lessons. And you've got to respect that space in between and don't think they identify you or that the world judges you because of what they're doing. That's the least of your concerns. And then number 3, that was it. Do not feel they identify you. You are you. So I blended those last 2 together. Number 1, be happy with self first and continue to be happy with self during the relationship. Number 2, do not hinge your happiness on their decisions or their behavior. Don't try to change them. And number 3, do not feel they identify you. Okay, they're not you. People know you and people know your partner, and they're not going to think you are your partner. Just roll your eyes. Just like, oh yeah, there goes there goes Trixie again doing her tricks, Trixie's Trixie. And it's okay. And people get that you're two different people. And people get that you've got a magical chemistry going on and that you live and let live in the relationship. So there you go. This week and next, I'm going to be taking lessons from my forthcoming paperback release that was originally a global bestseller in markets around the world. Just came out in Germany. A Beginner's Guide to the Universe. I'm still looking at your questions below every single day, and where I can, I will tie your questions in to a passage or a note from the new book. Have an amazing Wednesday. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the engagement, for the hearts, for the stars, the shares. Hello, Deborah, Mary Ellen, Barbara, dear Barbara. Hello, Sheila, Isabel on Facebook and on Instagram. Norone and Linda and Sia and, oh boy, I can never get all these names right. Sally, I got Sally. All right, everybody. Tally ho, amigo. Have a great Wednesday.